think I lost a bit of my creativity during university. Like, I think some of my creative brain cells burned up and died. And I think I'm only just realizing that. Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. Okay. If you're new to the channel, by the way, hi, my name's Anna. This is often what I do when I'm having little moments of mental health crisis on this channel, but basically I just turn on my webcam and I'm like, I want to rant to you guys for however long. So today's topic, as I am sat here after a day of deciding that I'm finally going to be consistent with my businesses and really launch them and really make the effort, and I'm just still feeling very burnt out. And that's, I think, the best way to put it, is I'm feeling very burnt out, creatively. The direction that I'm taking my graphic design business in, which, by the way, I'm going to talk about that in this week's proper video. This is a bit of a interjection to basically be like, hey, this is what's going on in my brain. You guys need to know this if anyone else is going through this, who just has recently graduated, like me. And so as I say, today I've posted, like this morning, I promoted a scheduled post that I'd made on Student Reform Collective. You know, if you guys don't know what that is, last week's video was about that. I'll leave that up there. Have a look at that, please, and the links will, as always, now be in the description as well, for all these things. Both Student Reform Collective and my graphics Instagram. But yeah, so that was the first job for today, was promoting that post, which was about last minute items to pack for uni, which, again, I have another one going up on Wednesday and then another one on Friday. So that's was job number one. Promoting it on everywhere. Then I have then gone and made 2 TikToks just now, on my graphics TikTok, again, link in the description. I think, yeah, well no, because you can get to it via my Instagram, I think. It's just AnnaIsRandom, I think, so you'll be fine. So that was the job that I've just done. It was an introduction TikTok and one about the Dead Sour Creative Glow Challenge by Abby Connick that I've just done, which this week's video is going to be about the process for that. So that was the job that I did for today, and now I'm just kind of like, what else do I do? My head is racing at the moment because I'm so eager to grow my businesses and really get clients and start earning money, so I can get off universal credit and get out of my family house, basically. And it's not, I know that it's not going to happen overnight, and I feel like I'm pressuring myself because of external pressures that I'm feeling, which is a whole other topic. Don't know if I'm going to go into that in this video because it's kind of sensitive, and it's, yeah, when I mentioned I want to get out of my family house, it's not a great environment. Anyway, so that's what's going on in my head right now. Right now my head is just racing because I want clients. I want at least somebody to come along and be like, hey, I want you to work with me no matter what it is. Can you do this XYZ for me? Get paid. Build that first long-lasting relationship with a client, you know, get my foot in the door. And that's what I'm trying to do, is get my foot in the door. And I know the way to do that is to do like a heck ton of passion projects to expand my portfolio, which is what I'm doing at the moment. And this is where the creativity loss comes in, is that I'm trying to do all these like, I'm trying to think of so many ideas. I've got so many ideas of things that I can do, like I make YouTube videos about as well, because that's another thing I'm going to use this channel for, is to promote my graphics work, as well as doing, like, the normal mental health, lifestyle content like that, but it's not going to change. But I'm going to add more sort of career growth and stuff onto this channel, which I mentioned a little bit in my last video. Well, no, it was my video before that, actually, but regardless. So, yeah. And when I'm trying to design all these brands and, like, trying to actually actualize these ideas and actually, you know, be like, I am a designer, let's use the like, as soon as I try and tap into the creative part of my brain, it's like part of it is missing. That was probably a tweet. It's like part of it is missing, and a big part of it is missing. And it's concerning, because I know that branding and brand identities is kind of what inspires the most creativity, and it allows the most sort of creative freedom. I've been watching a lot of Abby Connick's videos, hence why I did the Creative Glow Challenge. Like, I've recently discovered her, and the way she goes through, like, in her videos when she does, like, designing brands from scratch, and the way she's explaining how she's doing everything, and I'm like, this is me. This is what I know my brain can do, and the kind of thinking that I know my brain's capable of, like, in terms of thought processes as to how she gets to where she is design-wise. Like, I'm like, that's me. At least that used to be me. Like, that used to be me, like, in sixth form, you know? Or, like, maybe in my first year. And I haven't really talked about this a lot on my channel, but since my first year, like, since COVID happened, so much has gone on in my personal life and my mental health that I feel like that sort of took over as, like, the priorities of my life. And you'll know, because a lot of my content from 2020 was a lot of, like, mental health content, and I didn't exactly jump on the 2020 YouTube bandwagon in the way that I probably should have done. Can't change the past, but there you go. But yeah, it just, and I'm trying to I'm having a bit of a life crisis. I mean, obviously, if you guys watched the video before last, you know, I've had a big life change, breakup of over a year relationship, so that put a massive spanner in the works in terms of me having to come home, which at first was a supportive environment, and now, as I say, not so much. But I think that's partially why I'm feeling the way that I am, because I'm trying to pressure myself so much to get out, and get out as quickly as possible, and I redid my vision board and I'm feeling really good about where I want to be in life, but it's the getting that first step and getting rolling on that journey. I think I want it to happen faster than it is, and that's a problem, because, as I say, I've been trying to battle burnout ever since I graduated. I didn't really get a chance to talk about that properly on my channel, because I was going to, and then life happened, and then I went to London. And that was my first video back because of the burnout. I'm not going to discuss why I went to London. Like I said in the video, don't ask. It wasn't something I really want to discuss, but it was probably the best thing I did this year, was going there and really allowing myself to have that headspace on my own, and hang out with people. And then since I came back, everything again just kind of went a bit downhill, in my personal life and in my mental health, and yeah, so I'm in a weird space. I'm trying to explain mental health in a not great way, which is my channel, basically. But basically what I'm battling at the moment, and as I say, I'm making this video primarily so people can relate to it, right? If you can, because I'm pretty sure I'm not feeling like I'm not alone in this, is that what is it about university, at least the university course that I did, that sort of, I don't know, skews your, like, makes you use your skills in such a specific way that doesn't really allow you much creative freedom. And I think that's what I'm, like, it's the shift in mindset that I went through, like, after my first year, and now I'm trying to get, like, out of that now, that's causing issues. Because, I mean, me going into my first year, I'd just come out of my A-level, which was very much, like, creative flow, do whatever you want, work with whatever illustrators, artists that you want to in terms of styles, and then create basically whatever you wanted. And then you get marked for it, and I got an A for that. None of you guys have been there for that long, but A-level results video is a fun one to watch if you want to do that. Which was like 3 years ago now. Wow. But that was the mindset I had going into, and then going into my degree, it was very different in terms of the mindset and the attitude we were supposed to have towards design, and the techniques we were supposed to use, and all this stuff, and I think I was expecting it to more be like the A-level, and it wasn't, which was fine, because it allowed a more professional approach to it, kind of, but I mean, I've made videos earlier in the year about how I don't really like kind of agency culture, and find that a bit problematic, and not something for me, which, in my spiral of self-doubt that I'm having at the moment, I'm going, should I just apply for a Manchester agency? But I'm going, probably not the best idea to do that, at least not straight off the bat, because even if I did get a job, you know, I don't really have the money to move out right now, unless having a job would let them put me down a deposit for a place. I don't know. You're coming along on this spiral with me, as always, but it's... yeah. Because I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of. I know I know the level I'm kind of supposed to be performing at, and I feel like I'm slightly below that. Because with all the briefs and all the different briefs we've been doing at university, it's like, because a lot of the briefs we did were very, very serious topics, and you can see that if you go over to my Instagram, which is basically my portfolio, and I go, and you can see, like, we did stuff to do with knife crime, and the first brief we did in our third year was to do with suicide, which I ended up winning an award for, but I remember a lot of, which I'm very grateful for, because it was a bit of a, yeah, I am good, despite the criticism I'd got for it at the time, but it was very much like, yeah, because it was the first thing we launched into our third year, like, hi, let's talk about suicide, which none of us were expecting, and not a lot of us really enjoyed, but hey, it has to be done, which is the attitude we had throughout the whole thing, because it was like, yeah, well, you have, if you work in agency, and like, you have to work on these types of briefs, you can't always pick and choose, like, it was very restricted, the mindset we were told to have, and, oh, I have a Discord notification, it was very restricted, the mindset we were told to have, and as I say, that's what I'm trying to get out of, and I think I've mentioned this in a video before, back in, like, March, yeah, if you want to go see me cry on camera, link in the cards, I think it's that way, actually, but anyway, and I've had talks with people about this otherwise, but it's very, agency work very much puts you in a box, because you have to do whatever clients have hired that agency, you have to do what they want to do, and it's a lot of very corporate work a lot of the time, from what I can gather, and it's not, and whereas I tailor more towards like small businesses and people who have a bit more of a creative vision visually, which is how I tend to work. And a lot of, I mean, those who, any former classmates watching the video, you'll know how many times I said, I'm an artist, not a graphic designer, in my third year. But I think that's what I meant by that, is that I work visually and logically, not, and I would much rather something that provided the designer with more creative freedom and allowed you to sort of flourish a little more than having to stick to the very corporate sort of set branding, which we had to kind of do in university a lot of the time. And that, as I say, that's becoming a bit of a problem. I know this video is probably going to be irrelevant to a lot of people, but this is therapy for me, and hopefully for you as well, watching this. Hi. So that's what I'm trying to work through at the moment, is getting my creative getting my creativity back, basically. Getting my confidence in myself back. I never had it in the first place. Gaining some confidence in myself to actually have the faith in myself enough to not listen to what anyone else is saying, to not let the self-doubt get to me, and to just work and not necessarily pressure myself the way that I am doing at the moment in terms of time constraints. Because there isn't really a time constraint. I mean, there is, kind of. Like, I don't want to be here forever, you know. Like, by the end of the year, going into 2023, this is an intention, putting this out there. God, you're listening to this. I've already said this before, but just to say it again, by the end of this year, going into next year, I am aiming to be, and I will be, financially stable enough to be looking at moving out. That's where I want to be. That's the limit I'm giving myself, and I've got things before the end of this year that are hopefully going to help me in terms of networking, events and things that I'm possibly going to vlog if I'm not afraid of being cancelled. You'll find out why in October. Why I said that, but anyway. I'm gonna stop this now because I feel like I'm just rambling on without any real coherence. Hopefully you understand what I'm on about, but yeah, and this is, as I say, this is a topic I've kind of touched on before, but this is kind of from a post-uni graduate perspective of university puts you in a box. If you do a creative degree, I have found that university puts you in a bit of a box. In terms of your creative mind. It puts you on a linear thinking path, and unless you make the conscious effort to keep your hobbies and things, and keep the more free part, like your more free-spirited part of your creative mind alive, it can wither and die and become a bit dormant. So, things I wish I knew. During lockdown, and post-lockdown, and all these things. But, yeah. And things I wish I knew before I started uni, heck, you know, let's go there. But, yeah. That's what I'm working through at the moment. Hopefully somebody out there can relate and this has helped you not feel alone. Because I hope that I'm not alone. But, yeah. I'm probably just going to upload this straight, you know. I'm probably just not even going to edit it much. So, another unedited rant on the webcam by me. As I say, this happens a lot on this channel, so if you want unedited mental health content, be sure to subscribe. Yeah, this is the part where they do promotion. But yeah, I'm still burnt out. I'm still feeling the effects of creative burnout, and I'm trying to work through that. Because I know I can be successful. So, I feel a bit bad for doing the shameless plug, but if you need any graphic design work doing, or especially if you're a content creator, I do branding and banners and things for content creators, or like emotes and things for streamers, and different graphics and banners and things. So if that's what you need, and also for small businesses who need brand identities, I do packaging and marketing. You know, I have a bit of an advertising brain, hopefully still in here, activating and working. But it has been known for me to come up with a good strapline. So if you need that, my information's in the description. But yeah, the struggles of a graphic designer continue. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.